Behind me, there's a secret entrance underneath that tree. Check it out. Hey guys, what's up? Today I have something for you. It is a secret entrance underneath a tree. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Looks like an ordinary tree. Let's go ahead and... this looks like an interesting little patch of grass. Let's throw it... There we go. You can jump on in. Inside we have a bunch of shulker boxes. In here we have some random items and... Oh, look at that. That's where he hid the diamonds. There it is. Okay, cool. To get out of this thing, what you can do... well, you can recover your item right there. Apparently I had some other items in there as well. But that's the one that I threw in there. You can recover your item that you put in to open it. And then all you have to do to get out is press this button. And a bubble column appears eventually. And then you can go up and out and go on your merry way. And it automatically closes up behind you. Pretty cool. I'm going to show you how to build it. I'm going to show you the redstone behind it. And if you like it, go ahead and keep watching. If you don't like it, then go watch something else, because don't waste your time on something you don't want to watch. All right, here we go. All right, well, here's the redstone behind the thing. Check it out. So it looks relatively complicated, but it's not that bad. It looks relatively complicated. I wish I could have compacted it a little bit more. Honestly, I'm not the best at compacting redstone. Really not the best at building redstone to begin with. I don't think it's like my thing that I'm the best at. But anyways, there it is. And right here, have our little tree and our little entrance and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and check out how to build this thing. I'm going to explain how it works as we go. So here we go. Oh, we're missing a minecart right there. Minecart! All right, so first of all, you probably want to select a tree. So this is my tree right here. And then underneath that tree, you're going to go down 7 blocks and place in this block right here. And then you're going to build an 8x8 platform like that. So let me back up just a little bit so you can see exactly the dimensions and where they are. So that right there, that piece of soul sand is directly beneath the trunk of this tree. Okay, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 between this bottom layer and the top layer of grass. Now, it's totally fine if there's like a hill or something like up here, like if the grass is like, you know, up there or something like that. That's not a problem. Okay. Yeah, so basically in survival mode, you would come down here, dig that out, and then dig this whole platform out as well. Because we're actually going to be putting a few blocks on this right here. So you would probably dig it all the way down to this level like that. Okay, but I just wanted to show you so that you knew what to dig out. All right, once you've got that done, you have to make your first major decision. Where is the entrance to my tree? Now, wherever that is, you're going to orient this 8x, I should have said this earlier, your 8x8 platform in accordance with that. So right now, this is going to be where I walk in from the bottom, and then right here is going to actually be like where my entrance is. So I'm going to enter right here, and then I'm going to exit here, if that makes sense. Okay, so let me show you that again. Enter there, exit, and come out this way. All right, now that we got all that established, let's go ahead and start building some stuff. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put 3 pistons right here. So this is your tree block. So you're going to come 1 block and then 1 more like that. So you have a space right here. And then you're going to put 3 pistons coming down like that. Okay. And then you're going to place a piston right there facing up and another one above it facing up like that. Okay, cool. Then what you could do if you want is you can get rid of this block and then place in its place, let's see if I have it, no. Place in its place one of these right here, right there. And you're going to place that on top of there. Okay, so this is actually going to be the bottom piece of your tree bark right there. And then what's going to happen is these pistons will fire, pushing this double piston extender over, which will fire and then place that block right here when it's closed. And then when it's open, the double piston extender will double piston extend, pull the block down, and then these 3 will pull it back over. Okay. The next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take and place a piston underneath this hole facing up. So you're going to have, that's a temporary, and then you're going to place a piston right No, down one, sorry. Down one from that. So you got to go down 2 and then place a piston facing up right there, and then get rid of these 2 temporary blocks if you can get in there like that. Okay, and then you're going to place a grass block on top of it. So we're going to basically build the thing open. Okay, so there's our grass block, and then that piston will push this grass block up, making it so that you can get in. Okay, on this side we're going to put the mechanism for activating the double piston extender, but on the opposite side, the side that's going to be your exit, if you will, if you're coming in from the top, you're going to exit this way. So what we want to do is we want to get out our droppers, which are right here, or not droppers, sorry, they have to be dispensers, and you're going to place in 1, 2, and 3 dispensers facing into this water column that we're going to build here. Okay, so basically what's going to happen is there's going to be some water blocks, one here and then one on top of that, and then these 3 will dispense the other 3 water blocks necessary to create your bubble column to get out. All right, let's start placing in some of the mechanics of this thing. So first of all, you're going to come around the back and you're going to place in 1, 2, and 3 blocks like that. Then you might as well just take this all the way to the floor, because you're going to have to seal in your water, but these 2 blocks don't do anything. Okay, so a column like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to place a block right here, and you're going to place a repeater on that on 4 ticks. Has to be 4. Found that out the hard way. Okay, then facing down onto that repeater, you're going to place an observer if you can. You might have to break out a couple of these to get this to go in here, like that. There we go. And then we'll replace those later. But there is your observer facing down, and then you have to place 1 piece of redstone dust on top of that observer there. All right. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to come and you're going to take and place in an observer right there, facing outwards, like that. So you got an observer facing outwards there, out of the repeater, and then an observer facing down like that. And this is actually all you need for your double piston extender. I found this on YouTube. I wish I could remember the person, but I will put a link to their video on the screen right now, and also in the description. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. But anyways, he had a cool little double piston extender, so I thought I would use it in this build. Okay, next what you're going to do is you're going to take and you're going to place a one of these, a redstone lamp right there. Okay, and then I'm using like a texture pack that's for 1.13, and some of the textures aren't there, so this one apparently has not been updated there. Need to go check that out and update those. Okay, but anyways, then you're going to place another block behind that one over this way, one more over that way, and then you're going to build a structure like this all the way up to there. Then you're going to place a block there, and I believe one here like that. Okay, so you've got this structure coming out of your block, out of this lamp. Okay, and this is going to be the mechanism that's going to operate this piston array, as well as part of what's going to pulse these droppers right here. Okay, so next what we need to do is we need to build a pulse extender. And the reason we need a pulse extender here is because when you, so we're going to put 2 comparators that way, 2 comparators this way. When you open this thing, what needs to happen is these need to extend, and then the double piston extender needs to fire. But then when it opens back up, it needs time for this double piston extender to retract the block and get all the way back down so that these pistons can then pull it back over. Okay, so if I was to, well, I can fire it in a minute. If I was to fire it, basically what's going to happen is these pistons are going to push these 3 over, and then this guy's going to fire and send it up to the top, send this block up to the top. But then when it opens, it needs a delay in order to give it time enough to do that. So this is enough delay. In fact, it's a little bit too much delay, so this is what could be compacted, is if you have another way to get the delay the right time, that you could probably compact this circuit right here if you are into that sort of thing. Okay, right here we're going to place some redstone and a piece of redstone right there, and that will complete that. But I am going to place a bit of dust on top of this one, like that, and then a redstone torch here, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Okay, next we need to run a repeater right there, and then have some redstone dust here and here and there, like that. Okay, so what's going on here is that when this thing is charged up, we don't want it to backfeed into this this lamp right here, because then it messes up the double piston extender and the timing gets all messed up. So this is just working as a diode to keep the signal from going back out of this extender here. Okay, next, let's go ahead and put in our input for the bottom section. So we're, whoa. Okay, so what's going to happen here is, let's go ahead and put 2 blocks here, and then 2 blocks here, and that's going to surround our water column. And then we need 2 blocks there, and 2 blocks there, because we're going to put some fences, some signs right here, sorry, so that the water stays trapped in that area. But then our input block is that one right there. So then we need a button on that. So we're going to place a button there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come around the back, and this is a little bit funky, but what we need to do is basically, I'm going to break this one out, and we basically need a piston right there. It has to be a regular piston for this to work. Let's see if I have one in my inventory. There we go. And then, so you're going to place a piston facing that way. And what's going to happen is, because bubble columns push you up, if you want to come down this thing, you have to have the bubble column retracted. So what's going to happen is there's going to be a piston on this side and a piston on this side to change it between a regular solid block and the soul sand, so that you can either go up or down appropriately. So our input going up is going to be right here. And then what's going to happen is we're going to have a block on top of that piston. And this block has to be open right now, okay? You're going to put a block on top of that piston. And then you're going to put a block there, and then another one there, like that, okay? And then what you need is a repeater right here, and then a block right there. And then actually I made a mess of this. You don't need those two. And then what we need to put is redstone here, and then a repeater there, like that. Okay. And then we need to replace this block right here so that the water doesn't escape and wipe out all of our nice, pretty redstone. Okay, very good. So then what we should see is when we press that, we should get this piston to fire. Let's just make sure that's happening. I think I heard it. There we go. And then it should be working just fine. Okay, next what we want to do is on the other side of where you put this repeater, you're going to have another repeater coming out of there. And then it's going to go into a block like that, into another repeater, like that. Okay, cool. Now what we're going to build is another pulse extender, but this one we're going to use a hopper-based pulse extender. And this is another RedTuber that, this is another YouTuber that I found who created this, and of course I can't remember their name either, so I will make sure that that is on the screen right now as a card, and also in the description to credit them for this cool little thing here. So we need a redstone torch right there, then a piece of redstone here, and then a block there with another torch right there. Then we need is 2 hoppers, so we're going to place one right there, and then we're going to place one here going into that one, break this one, place it like that so the hoppers are facing into each other. And then out of this hopper right here, we're going to place a comparator going back towards, if you can sneak it in there. Let's see, how can we get it in there? Boo, I think we're going to have to break that. Right there. There it is. So that comparator is facing that way. And then if you need to replace that observer right there. Okay, sweet. That's looking pretty good. All right. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to place in a block above this torch. And then we're going to place a torch on the side of that block. We've got a little torch tower going on. And then one here. And then one here. And then finally one more right there. Okay, like that. Okay, so the purpose of this is that when we press this button right here, it's going to activate this. It's going to then run up this torch tower here. This is going to turn off, and then all this is going to turn off, turning on our double piston extender, and also powering our little piston array right there. So that's going to be the power for all of this stuff that I was talking about moving the pistons over. But the problem is we need some time for that to happen. We need some time for this thing to stay on. We need some time for this to work. We need some time for these droppers or these dispensers to dispense the water. We need some time to be able to get up and out of this thing or down and into it. So that is why we need to have this pulse extender. Okay, so then I forgot something on the pulse extender. We need one piece of redstone on top of this block right here. Okay, so there it is, like that. So we've got a torch here, redstone on top of the block, torch there, two, and yeah, like that. Okay, so then inside of this thing, this is how many items you put in this one determines how long of a delay there is. So I found out that the optimum delay for me was 20 blocks. So I'm going to get out 20 just whatever blocks and put them in there. Now you might be able to pull off like 18, but I don't think I'd go less than 18. And the reason for that is because 20 gives you enough time to open the door and get in or get out of the door without it like closing on you. If you need a little bit more time, then you could put, like 25 in here. I wouldn't go for like a full stack because then sometimes you could probably come down in here, do whatever you need to do, and then work your way out. But you don't really want to push this button and open it up again without this thing resetting because, anyways, it's a whole thing. I tried to use a comparator pulse extender because they're a little bit more reliable and you don't have to worry about pushing the button too many times. But it just got a little bit too big. It needed to be a much larger amount of time than the comparator pulse extender could do. So anyway, that's enough rambling on about that. So far what's going to happen is when I press this button, this thing's going to fire. And as you can see, our torch is switched. And now it's going to be working just like that. Okay. So then what we need to do is we need to go ahead and connect this to our system here. And the way that we're going to do that is with a repeater, like that. And you want to put that repeater on 4 ticks. And when you do so, your door should close, just like that. All right? Very good. So you've seen that it powered this, pushed that double piston extender over, the double piston extender extended, and the tree trunk is in the right spot. Very cool. Then when we press the button, it's going to open all of that up. Oh, guys, I forgot something. I was like, why is it not working? I forgot something. Finally figured it out. So for you guys probably saw it, for your comparator pulse extender, you need another block right there. So hold on just a minute. I was like, what in the world? Why is this not working? This is why I'm not a very good redstoner, to be honest. I'm just not good with the details. You guys know this. Okay. There we go. Okay, make sure you put that block there, otherwise it will not work correctly and you'll be completely puzzled as to why. All right, now that all that is fixed, we're good to go. So the very last thing that we're going to do is we have to wire up our dispenser system and we have to put in an input of some sort. So this isn't too bad. All we have to do is place in a block there, a couple blocks right there and there, and then we're going to place some blocks here like that, and then we also need one there like that. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and take your repeaters. You're going to place a repeater there, you're going to place a repeater there, and you're going to place one right there. Now you need to place some redstone dust here, but the fact that these two are connected is a problem, so we're going to break that line by placing a block right there. Okay, then what you need to do is you're going to place in a bit of redstone all the way across there. Except right here you need to place in a repeater. Otherwise you get a burnout torch like I just did and have a huge problem. Okay, then we're going to delete that block and we're going to place in a piston like this, a sticky piston with a block on top of it. You could also use a regular piston with a piece of sand. Works the same way. This is a monostable circuit right here so that we get just a single pulse to these when we want it. Okay. That is that. The next thing we need to do a very similar circuit on the other side coming out of this torch right here. We're going to place a block there, a piston facing upwards here with a block on it like that. And then we're going to place in 1, 2 blocks like this, and we're going to place in 1, 2 repeaters like that, and then place a repeater there. Okay. So then when we press this, you should see that extend in just a minute. Like that, and then you should hear these pulse. Okay. And then when it goes, when you press the other one, it's going to pulse them back the other way. And it's pretty nice. Okay, so then that way these droppers will dispense, or these dispensers will dispense the water and pick up the empty water buckets when they need to. Okay, next what we need to do is build our input. So this is how I did it on mine. You could do it a different way. You could place the input in a different spot, but the way that I did it is I placed a chest right here. Let's get a chest out. Chest. Oh, you know what? I have one in my inventory. Come on. There it is. Okay, we're going to place a chest right there. Okay, and then what we need to do is we need to place a dropper or a hopper or something into the back of it. How about a hopper? That sounds good. Okay, then we're going to build hoppers all the way up to the top except for we don't need that one. Then what we need is some rail, and let's do a powered rail and a minecart with hopper. And what you want to do is you want to place in your powered rail, shift click, place that, and then place the hopper right here, like that. It would also probably be a good idea to surround this thing with some blocks, just to keep the hopper minecart from moving. The powered rail should keep it pretty much stable, but yeah, some people will remove the hopper or remove the rail, but it's totally not necessary. That way, what's going to happen is when you throw a block right here, boop, like that, it's going to get picked up by the hopper, go down here, and then into this chest. So that means that we've created a little bit of an output. So what we need to do is we need to take a comparator, and then what's going to happen is that comparator, when it fires, when an item will come through here, it will give a 1 tick pulse, and then that will go into this block right here, and then into this repeater right there. Now, I put it on 2 ticks. It's not really necessary to do that. Okay, the very last thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that this switches whenever we put in an item up here, and this comes down here because we need to not have a bubble column there, otherwise we won't be able to really get down very easily. So what we need to do is right here, you need to break that one and that one, not that one either, or that one or that one. We're going to place in a piston right here, facing that way. Okay, then there has to be a block there, and then we'll just rebuild this. Very cool. So now we need to place a block on top of that with some redstone here on top of these two like this. So that way the piston will fire and this will fire. But this is a really annoying problem for me. This piston right here is going to be bud powered by this stupid redstone right here. And so what happens then is when you power this thing, the stupid piston gets stuck over there. So we need to put another piston. It can be a regular piston, and in fact this one here needs to be, but this one can be a regular or sticky, doesn't matter. Right here, facing downwards, so that it gives a redstone update so that this other one doesn't get freaking stuck. It's more, anyway, okay, there we go. So now let's test our system. Let's see if we place in a block right here, or place in any item. You can use any item and just press Q. Or, sorry, mine's set to Q. Yours is probably set to something else. Just drop an item in there, and it changes over. And then we can go in, and then it closes on back up. All right, so everything seems to be working. The very last thing that we need to do is put in the water. I always put in the water last. Definitely a good idea. All right, so first of all, we're going to place a sign there and a sign there. Very good. Next, we need a water bucket or 3. We actually need like 4 water buckets. So here we go. Let's just put it in here. All right, we've got 1 and 2 and 3, and you'll need a 4th one, but that's okay. Because I'm in survival, I can do this. So then you're going to, or because I'm in creative, I can do this. So we're going to place a water source there, a water source there like that, and then you're going to place in 1 into each one of these dispensers like this. Okay. The very, 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 very last thing that you might want to do is cover up any holes that you made in the surface. So I had like 3 right here, and then I had 1 over here or something like that as I was moving up and down between the top and the bottom of this thing. And so then now it's all ready to go. So if we press this button, it opens up, and the water dispenses. We can jump to the top. Very cool. closes on up behind us, and then right here, you can press your drop item button, open it back up, go on down, and it's working perfectly. Okay, to decorate this thing, you could, fill in blocks here in the world that I showed earlier in the little demo. I filled that in, and then I filled this in, and then I filled all of that in. Totally fine to do that. If you want to make this a hallway, you could also go like this, and then maybe go like right here. The only trouble is that you're going to want to move this chest over, so you could just simply continue this hopper line right around here and place that. You could also build your input in a different place and just make sure that somehow you're taking an output from one of these hoppers into this line right here with a repeater. Well, guys, this has been Hex. I hope you've enjoyed this wonderful little tree hidden entrance. And if you want to download a structure file for this, I will put one in the description, a link to it so you can download it. But other than that, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and God bless.